I love you listen to them old guys that quit hunting. Some of them kind of do. They'll say, money ruined the sport. This money in the hunts, it's ruined them. Well, wait a second. When you was hunting for $40 hides and the hides went to nothing, you quit hunting, so you were hunting for the money too.
This is your host, Jason Snellgrove, and I will be your guide as we journey down the road to pleasure hunt or hitting the long trail to those great comp hunts. This is the Coonhound Collective.
You hear me in there, Judge?
And he's back from his Walker Dog adventures.
Do you hear me in there?
No.
Listen.
No, I ain't got time to be messing with you on that. They's coyotes or something you listening to. Yeah.
No.
So
Tree me in there.
How did your Walker Dog look and go?
Look, let me tell you something. You know better that I wasn't on the road. Why would you get on here and tell?
That's what you said. You said you was going to look at a Walker Dog.
No, I did not. That's a lie. He got on the podcast and said that the reason I was missing in action is because I was out trying out a Walker Dog.
Really?
Yeah.
So the truth comes out.
That's not true.
The truth comes out.
That's not true.
You're in the closet.
I wouldn't travel for one.
He's in the closet.
He's in the closet.
I wouldn't travel for one, let alone walk across the road for one. So let's just go ahead and clarify what's in your side of your dog box out there right now.
I got a Walker Dog in there.
And at home? What's in your kennel at home?
That one that's at the house is not mine.
Wait a minute. So you've got two?
Two. Yeah.
All right.
Right now.
I've
said from the beginning, I'm going to hunt whatever it takes to win.
I know, but I'm just saying, we
set it all
clear.
We're going to get to here in a little bit.
Mouthing me while I'm missing in action. He's the one sitting over at the Walker
Well, he's
Dog.
not in the closet denying it. You are.
Because I wasn't looking for one.
He's man enough to tell us the truth.
Ask him what he said about the little Walker Dog he draw before we knew he was going to draw her at the World Hunt.
What happened?
What do you mean, what happened? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. Now, I will admit to that. We walked out of the hotel up there at Salem, and I said, now that right there standing on that tailgate, now that's a good-looking Walker Dog.
And I looked at him, and I reached and touched his head to make sure he wasn't sick. But she is a good-looking dog, and she's a nice dog.
Oh, yeah.
She would have probably been the PKC World Champion if his health would have been in better shape, because she was nice.
Yeah, that kind of went south for him.
Yeah.
Yep, he beat our brakes off and still lost the cast. But anyways,
yeah,
we'll not talk about that anymore. We'll just move on.
Yeah.
What were we talking about anyways? What are we doing? Where are we at?
Okay, we're back over at Purdy, Missouri, over at Aaron Gamble's. How's it going, Aaron?
Good. The Gamble Ranch.
The Gamble Ranch. Thanks for sitting in last week. Or maybe this be 2 weeks after.
Maybe.
With Kim.
Was that when you was telling the lies on me?
No.
Oh, that was the other day.
Yeah, that was the other day.
That was last Friday.
Yeah, this will be 2 weeks later. I've already got another one recorded that'll come out next week. So, but I appreciate you helping me with that. I think that went real well.
It did go good. It was good.
A lot of feedback from it. And a lot of people liked it. So
yeah, it was good.
There'll be a red bone guy on this coming week. So 2 in a row.
I'm going tomorrow night to handle his dog for him tomorrow night at Gerard.
You are?
Yeah, I'm fixing to convert.
Well, I'll tell you what, if those PKC boys that are hunting them red dogs, they keep building up that prize pack, I may have to get me one.
Yeah. Would you say a Ford Raptor?
I think they're doing a side by side, or I'd have to look it up again now. And then I think next year they're going to try to do a pickup truck.
Well, we're going to buy a red bone, the three of us.
I wouldn't know where to go.
That way we can be closet buddies all together. I don't know if the three of us could fit in the closet.
It'd have to be a big one.
Yeah, walk in.
Yeah. So you been doing any hunting since last time we talked, other than handling?
Yeah, we've pleasure hunted some, but we've been busy. But some pleasure hunting.
Been hot.
Oh God. Yeah.
Supposed to be nice tonight and tomorrow night, but it's been hot.
Yeah, and we're not going to let time restraints, our hunting, stop this podcast till I'm good and ready.
What, tonight?
Yeah.
Well, I can see that it's still daylight out there, so we're good. But when it starts getting dark, we need to start winding this thing down.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Yeah. We got to breed a dog tomorrow. I know you ain't been doing no hunting, have you?
No, not a few times, but not enough to speak of. No, It's been too hot.
It's been hot. Cause I've been. It's been hot.
I had a bad hunt. I had a bad hunt the other night, so I just got mad and
went to the house.
Yeah, I went home. I wasn't gonna turn loose again. I'd had a gut full.
Yeah.
I got mad, got sweaty.
Easy to do when you're hot.
Got dehydrated, got mad.
Probably might have run out of snacks too.
I didn't have any snacks with me for real.
Oh God!
When he was a kid, talking about snacks. When I was a kid and I hunted with Blaine Lewis, the guy got me in hunting. He would bring those. They look like Oreos, but they were not chocolate, the dark ones, and we would dip them in coffee and eat them.
Oh, just the vanilla cream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, my God, I've eaten a gallon of them. But he'd always bring them, and we'd dip them in coffee. And now, thinking back, that almost makes me want to gag thinking about dipping them in coffee. But we did.
Yeah, they weren't that good.
No. But anyway, I'd always say you got cookies so we could sop them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I couldn't imagine doing that now.
What about you, Mr. Walker, man?
I've been hunting. I treed 3 singles one night, a single the night before that, mud holed a track I went and got him off of, and holed an armadillo.
Did you have to build a fire, though?
No, there wasn't no fire building going on.
Okay.
Now, I tell you, the night he mud holed it in that, over on the other side of Crane, that small conservation area, where the creek makes the bend and the water backs up in there, he got in that water, and I don't know if he just don't know how to move a track, but he got in there and started mud holing, and I went in there and got him out of there.
Yeah.
But, I probably could have built one there if I'd left him alone. But no, there ain't been no fire building. I ain't built a fire since my black and tan died that I took my senior pictures with.
Since we got better hounds, we don't have to build fires anymore.
That's it.
Is that what we're talking about tonight? Is
better hounds?
Better hounds.
We're talking about everything. I'm going to move fast and talk hard.
Well, that's just natural for you.
Better hounds. What's the associations doing to help us?
Oh, yeah, the breed associations.
Maybe even what is the registries doing to help us? As far as, I know I shared a deal on Facebook from Virginia where they were looking for people to sign and comment. You didn't have to be from Virginia. And I think by the time this comes out, the comments will be closed. But I shared it, and I think they were up to 1,000 comments yesterday. But they were trying to put a stop to hound hunting, and then they have a deal going on in Colorado where they're trying to do the same thing, try to put a stop to hound hunting out there.
I didn't see the Colorado one. Did that just happen?
No, it's been going on. They've been doing some fundraisers, trying to raise money to help fight. They're literally having a fight out there already. It's not in committee anymore. It's already through. So, and I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and I told them, I said, it ain't so much. This is my opinion, but I don't think it's so much that they're just wanting to get rid of hound hunting. That's the easy thing to go after first. Then it's going to be deer hunting or elk hunting, because the end goal is they want to come after the guns.
Everything.
And if we don't stick together, they're going to get it.
Yep.
So, deer hunters, turkey hunters, coon hunters, big game hunters,
but
whatever.
The sad thing is, one of our biggest enemies are the deer hunters. Yeah. And I deer hunt. Yeah. But they are. They lease up all that ground, and then they don't let them on it, and then they get mad if you get on it or hear a hound, and that's just my opinion. A lot of the deer hunters.
Well, and some of that I think is because I don't know why they've got it in their head that we're just letting our dogs run deer, but I'm not letting my dog run a deer. I don't need a deer running dog. I want a coon dog.
Yeah.
So.
But that's a big problem anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's what's been going on. But we're going to talk about a little bit of everything, like Aaron said. Aaron wasn't quite finished last time, so
not even remotely.
So we're gonna give it another shot tonight. I don't think he'll get finished tonight either. But
no, because we're going to do coon dogs, and then we're going to do associations, and I may even talk about the monetary system and other stuff. Geopolitical. No, we're going to stay out of the monetary and geopolitical stuff.
Well, let's start with the old hounds. You said you thought some people may have misunderstood what you said.
I think so, because I had made the comment that the old hounds weren't worth a flip, and I don't mean they weren't good for their time, but compared to the dogs we have today, the majority of hunters wouldn't hunt that junk.
Right.
Now, for their day, that's like going back to 1960 and looking at the NBA to today.
Right.
Go back and look at a dunk contest in 1960.
Yeah.
we got high school kids that can dunk like them guys, actually better.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's football, but I mean, just go back and boxing. Them dogs cannot compete today.
Right.
They cannot. And what's funny, I'm gonna get on a roll here. I've of course, I told Donnie Hilliswell to go on the phone that, you know, I used to be the kid and now I'm actually the old guy. You know, so I've hunted nonstop for 32 years, I guess. So I've kind of seen that, you know, we barely had tracking systems, and then everybody had not a beat, but a telemetry system, and then next thing we know, we had Garmin's, and, you know, so I've kind of seen it all. Matter of fact, I remember hunting as a kid, and Mike Jury had a hole in his pants because acid from his old light burned a hole in it. So I've hunted from watching guys have their holes burnt in their pants all the way till what we got today, and so I've seen the evolution of the hounds, and of course I thought the hounds were good then, and they were. I'm not saying they weren't good for their time.
Yeah.
They were for their time.
Yeah.
That's the key part of this whole entire phrase, you know. But it was just, you know, it's funny when I hear them guys. I was at a hunt here a couple weeks ago, and an old man said, the hounds were better back then. And I said, better at what? He said, everything. And I wasn't going to argue with him.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know, to myself, and I said it earlier for the podcast, ask any coon hunter, when's the last time you sat down and built a fire?
Waiting on a dog
to get treed.
Yeah.
When's the last time you done that? It just don't happen anymore. And I had an old man tell me he had an old dog. Now, you got to realize when these guys talked about them old dogs cold trailing all the time, they probably wasn't even trailing coon, if you want to know the truth. They were probably junking, you know. That'd be I may be wrong, but every one of them thought they had these old cold nose trailing up dogs, when in reality they probably were junking a lot. But anyway, he said, talked about how good the old dog was, and he trailed a coon for 2 miles. Now let's think about they were hunting at that time mainly for $40 hides. I mean, that's what they were doing. That's why most of them quit when hides went to nothing. But let's put ourselves in that time frame in 1970, and hides are $40 a whack. Do we want to take a dog and turn him loose, build a fire, and listen to him cold trail for a mile, maybe get it warmed up, and then get it 2 miles treed like this old man said? Or wouldn't we be better off to turn a dog like we got loose today, skip the first mile and a half and first hour and a half,
yeah, and get it treed,
and get that thing treed, and let's go tree another $40 coon, right?
Yeah.
So the more I look back, and especially after done the podcast, and you know, I've thought about this a lot, and I may be full of it, I don't know, but it don't make sense to me anymore. It did at the time because I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But now looking back, it's like their style of hunting made no sense in what they wanted.
Yeah.
You know, we're hunting for hides for $40, and of course in the 70s you can $40 by a lot.
Oh yeah.
Just like Kim said in his last podcast.
Yeah.
They was hunting for hides. So once again, wouldn't it have been better to have a dog to drop in there and get that coon treat? And then they say, well, their dogs didn't pass coon up. You're telling me when that old dog struck here at 100 yards and trailed for 2 miles, cold trailing like the old man said, and I ain't gonna mention his name, like he said, for 2 miles, you're telling me he didn't pass a coon or two up, galming that old track to death?
Oh yeah, he did, no doubt. Well, it's just no different than, you know, you hear them talk about the hunts today versus, you know, back then they had 100 dogs show up, you know, at a hunt or whatever. Well, when you didn't have it, I think Lonnie said, what did they have, 3 or 2 or 4 hunts a year? Well, yeah, everybody showed up. There's a hunt in Mountain Grove that we could have went to tonight. They got a hunt tomorrow night. Gerard's got one. Gerard, I mean, there's hunts everywhere, so there's not going to be as many.
No, and I mean, we don't have quite as many dogs as we used to. I'm that's silly to think, but just like you said, they'd have a couple hunts a year. If we got motivated, we could hunt 6 nights a week. Not every single week, but there's lots of weeks.
Yeah.
We could hunt literally 6 nights a week. I can tell you this, Tyler Compton mentioned when he was getting a truck ticket on Jenna, he went to 18 hunts in 1 month.
Yeah.
Them guys didn't go to 18 hunts in 2 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And my point is, it's different times than what it was then for the dogs and for the hunts too. I mean, the dogs were the way they trained them was
Absolutely.
back then. And then as the hunts changed and I guess the hides went away, the price of hides went away. It was just about either pleasure hunting or competition hunting. Because ain't nobody skinning a coon out for nothing
what
right now.
I love, you listen to them old guys that quit hunting, some of them kind of do. They'll say, money ruined the sport. This money in the hunts, it's ruined them. Well, wait a second. When you was hunting for $40 hides and the hides went to nothing, you quit hunting, so you were hunting for the money too.
Yeah, just different.
You're different. You was hunting for a different type of money, but you were still hunting for money.
Honestly, my opinion, the money that we have in the sport today probably saved it.
It's what saved it. They can gripe. The old timers can go on about how it's ruined it. Baloney.
Yeah.
You get rid of money in this sport, and you can kiss it goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have a few that would still hunt here and there.
A few diehards.
But as overall, I think if you got rid of the big money hunts and the ones that really pay out right now, I mean, you got people. When I was a kid, I thought, boy, would it be cool to be a full-time coon hunter for your job. And you got people doing that now. I mean, there's only a few that I can name right off the top of my head, but you've got people, that's what they're doing.
There's only a few NBA players, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they're called professionals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You being awful quiet down there. You don't want to jump in here?
No, I'm just listening. I'm just taking in here. But I was thinking something while you were talking. I was just sitting there thinking that.
You want a chicken sandwich?
No, yeah, I will here in a little bit. I was just thinking about them. Oh, you talking about them older guys and stuff, and back in the 70s or 80s, they were set in their ways. They were probably stuck in a rut. If it doesn't get him treed tonight, we'll go back tomorrow night. Yep. And then another thing is our way of life now is fast paced. Everything's fast paced now. The way of life for the way that we live compared to the way they was living, everything's faster now.
Yeah.
Everything's way faster. They took it slow. It's just a lot of things have changed. So I think that a lot of that maybe has incorporated into the comp hunt world and the way that we live and the way we operate.
Could be.
We don't want it. We don't want it tomorrow. We want it right now. And that's the way it is with a lot of things. But I think that's a lot of your change.
Could be.
Has came from that. But because they didn't care how long it took, we'll go back tomorrow night and get another one.
But some of them didn't know that when the ones that were hunting for hides wanted that. I've heard a lot of the old timers say, well, we was hunting. I mean, Kim mentioned it. Hunting, he can make more money than he could on overtime.
Yeah. He said he wasn't going to stay.
So once again, my point is, I don't think I guess it's kind of like asking somebody in the 1850s who want air conditioner. Well, they don't know what it is, so they got nothing to compare it to. So Dad didn't get home in the 1850s. He said, "Damn, I wish we had an air conditioner." He didn't even know what it was. So I think that's kind of what you're maybe saying. The old timers were just, they had nothing to compare it to. This is the way they was taught, and then of course then you had guys that come along that kind of probably stepped out of the box. I'd say Brink Creek Rock was one of them. You know, you had a few of these dogs that jumped out that started changing the breed. I mean, if you go back and look at pre-Rock, a lot of them were open spotted, and then all of a sudden you've got this big old nice blanket backed, good looking. And I don't know this. I mean, I wasn't alive at this point. I'm going to say Rock, the reason he won is he was probably a tree dog in a track dog world. Mm-hmm. And I may be wrong about that, but that's what I feel like. Because I've heard other guys say, gripe about him. But I'm going to say I'd say a lot of them old timers were looking at him. Well, he can't take a cold track and trail it in there a mile and a half and take an hour. He's probably bumping in there and treeing coons. Mm-hmm. And they didn't like that. It's funny. I was on the phone with Donnie Hillis an hour and a half ago, and we was talking about this subject, and he said, it's funny, and he's a little older than I am, but he said they took a lot of pride in that a dog worked that old track up for hours. He'd go with his grandpa over on James River there at River Fork Ranch, and Theodore Keithley, I believe was his name. But he said I could have took my shorty dog, he said, and treed 5 coon, and his dog would have treed 1, but he would have been more proud because he worked it a mile and a half cold trailing up and down the river to get it treed versus treeing those coons.
Well, and here's the thing: if that's what you like, then hunt it.
I guess so.
But in the world, and we're talking in the world of competition hunting, you're not going to win very many hunts with a dog that works like that.
You ain't going to win nothing.
Yeah.
And back another thing, them guys, I know some guys that was the hunting when them hides were high, and hearing them talk about them, and I mean, them guys were going to that dog cold trailing, waiting for it to get treed, and like if they was up north or wherever, they was jacklighting killing coons
as they went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was coons there,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I guess whatever one they struck, they run it until they. But they was killing what they seen in the tree.
Absolutely, absolutely.
At $40 a coon, they weren't leaving them.
I've heard them old boys talk about, make the joke they had to take a number to get into a parking spot.
Yeah.
This many people. Another thing I've thought was funny over the years too, as hunting has progressed. Now we take a dog to that, like you just said, them guys are walking to that dog. Now, once again, it don't make sense to me. They're thinking. Of course, once again, it goes back to they didn't know any better. You turn 4 dogs loose, go in there, and let's say they're all 4 split treed. Well, 3 of them's got a coon, 1 of them's got a den or a slick. We'd walk out of there with 3 $40 coon. But they would turn 4 dogs loose. All 4 of them would strike. I don't care if it's cold trail and just went there and treat a coon. Then they'd leave there and go somewhere else, tree another coon. It just makes sense. Why wouldn't you want them 4 dogs split treeing 3 coon, or 4 possibly, or 2, versus 1 maybe? You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's
they're
like,
all on the same tree.
Because they're all on the same tree. It may be a den tree, may be a slick, it may have a coon in it. But if you got 4 dogs loose, now we'll go in there and take 2, 3, 4 coon, or out of that one dump. Because I prefer to hunt like that now versus, turn loose and go into a dog and it's treed. Next thing you know, another dog's treed. You're at that dog, and then to me, it's a lot more action packed than sitting there listening to old Blue boo-hoo up and down the mountain for 5 hours and building a fire.
I'm glad you said old Blue and not old Blackie.
Yeah.
Mine was old Blackie.
The only thing is I see as many walkers and black and tans and English boo-hoo around as much anymore as anything. Not that there ain't some blue dogs that don't still boo-hoo, but you know what I'm saying. I just, to me, it just, but the older guys they hate that them dogs are split up. But I don't know why. Some of them got it, but some of them still don't get it. It's like, why wouldn't you like to pull 3 coon out here? Even if we wasn't killing them.
Instead of 1.
Instead of 1. Yeah. But it's like, nope, they have to be together. Which leads me into my next point. The old timers say, well, they ain't competing now. What do you mean they're not competing? You take 4 dogs, you turn them loose. Now we're comp hunting now. They strike, they trail in. You guys know as well as I do, half the time it boils down to whoever can yell treat my dog first. And let's be serious. Who cares if your dog beats mine by half a second? Does it really matter? You know what I'm saying?
Not now, because they ain't on the same tree.
But even then, and I know you guys have heard this. We'd go to hunt, turn them loose, all 4 would get treed. The hunt's over, and you got one guy saying, hell, if I'd have treed my dog, my dog treed that second coon. If I'd have treed him, if I'd have just been a little quicker, I'd have won. Half the time we got done, the guy that should have won didn't win because he wasn't yelling and treating my dog quick enough, where the next guy had, he knew his dog was going to be there, and if he squawked, he treed him. Now, you go to a hunt.
Or you listen to that other guy's dog locate enough that he treat his dog off the locate.
Absolutely. Seen it a million times. Get down to the hunt and somebody lean over and say, oh, if I'd have just treated my dog, he treated my dog. If he hadn't treated my dog, I'd have won that. Well, now you turn 4 of them loose, and just like the other night, I guided a cast out of Wentworth. It was a Tri-State Classic. We turned 4 dogs loose. It was 4 hunters. One guy's dog treated a coon. He treated another coon. When that hunt was over, nobody wondered who won. Because one dog treed 2 coon and the other ones didn't tree squat, but some slick trees. You know what I'm saying? Nobody.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody left there and knew exactly who won and who got their hind ends beat.
Yep, that's the way it is most of the time now.
And now it's that way. But the older generation says that ain't competing. Well, what do you mean it ain't competing? It used to be a handler game. Now it's a coon treeing game. Simple as that.
Yeah, and if you ain't got one that trees a coon, you better keep him at the house because you ain't going to do no good.
No, you're not going to do no good.
It don't matter, UKC, PKC, Pro Sport, whatever. You better have one that tree can.
They got to spend, if you watch the ones that win, what I've noticed, and I may be wrong on this, there's more to it, but if you watch the ones that win, they're really productive with their times, what I've noticed. Like the second they turn them loose, till that hunt's over, that dog's productive. I've been on a few casts, when a dog went out and messed around and a dog got treed, and then he covered it. Well, it was after 3 minutes, so the dog gets 25 minus. Well, when the dog covered, yes, the handler's mad it took 25 minus, but what a lot of them are not considering is the 10 or 15 minutes that dog, instead of treeing a coon, it spent 10 minutes or 12 or 8 minutes, whatever,
trailing in there.
And then it went and covered. So it lost 25 plus, or 25 minus. I'm sorry, it got 25 minus, and it wasted 8, 10, 12, 15 minutes. If it would have just stayed and got a coon treed, that 15 minutes or whatever would have been productive time, and it wouldn't have had 25 minus. It could have had 200 plus, 100, whatever it struck and treat in. Of course, if it split, it'd been 125, but, its strike would have fell where it fell. But you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But you look at them dogs that are out there that win consistently, they're not doing that normally. They're just treeing coon. It seems like me they're just real productive. Like they're every second, it's not wasted goofing around and running a half mile to another dog and trying to get part of that tree. And you go to these local, especially UKC hunts, and that you see a lot of that going on with the dogs. And it's like, guys, this 3-minute tree is killing that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's part of the, of course, we hunt with Cheyenne and Tyler, Compton, Lane Denny, and all them guys. And, I mean, sometimes their dogs unproductive and they lose. But when their dogs are on, they're very productive.
Yeah.
They're making stuff happen.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like a basketball player hustling. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I want to say one more thing, too.
Okay, go
Because this is I love this, since I'm complaining. I love them old guys, and I'm sure you've heard it. They'll say, I want a dog to run a cold track just as fast as a hot track.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if they can run a hot one just good as a cold one, there wouldn't be no such thing as a cold one, would there? Right? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard that statement for 30 years, and finally, like several years ago, my brain finally clued in. I'm like, wait a second, dummy. I'm talking about myself being dumb. It's like, if they run a hot one the same as a cold one, there's no such thing as a cold one.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what's happening. Their old dog was so damn slow. He was running a hot one just as slow as he was running a hot one, and they couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
That's probably what was going on. Anyway, I got to get off that.
Yeah. All right. Because we already been at it 30 minutes. And we ain't even got to one of the main topics we wanted to talk about.
I told you no time restraints. This is unfiltered and uncut and uncensored.
One of the things that, me and Aaron and me and Brett's talked about several times, and I'm sure Brett's going to play the devil advocate against me and Aaron here.
Well, I don't know about devil's advocate. I'm just going to give you some facts.
Yeah. So I put a post on Facebook because I knew we were going to be talking about this, and basically my question is, and Joshua, and I'm going to mess up his last name, but Ratliff, he made some very good points, I think, as well. But my question was, why are the associations that we as members pay memberships to, for the most part, only supporting one registry? And Joshua's point, which I had thought about, is what are these breed memberships doing, and throwing in UKC, PKC, these registries doing to help support and fight the anti-hunters, which I think is a very good point, because I don't know if they are or not, but maybe
I know they're not.
I don't see anything that they've put out that they're helping. So I think it's a very good point. I think it's a valid point. We're paying members to PKC. We're paying members, or I guess some of us are, to some of these breed associations. A portion of that money and money they're making from hunts, I think, should be going to help fight it. Just like what they got going on in Virginia, just like what they got going on in Colorado right now. So that was the other part we wanted to touch on.
And we're just going to mainly just complain and gripe about them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
While you're on the animal rights deal, is that what you're wanting to hit on?
Yeah,
for a second?
it don't matter. We can start anyway.
I can tell you right now, I've done countless of hours of research, and I've got more on a jump drive than we got time to sit here the rest of our lives to read about. I'm going to tell you something. They've got a lot of money. I'm telling you, they have more money and more power than what we got.
Yeah, and before you go on there, Chris Powell with Houndsman XP had a 2-part series with a guy from the ASPCA, and he talks about that in their money and stuff.
I know. I'm familiar with that guy too.
And
I know what he was all about. I stalked him for a while. I know his trail. So they, and I'm being serious. I'm not saying that we shouldn't try, and I'm not saying that these organizations shouldn't try, and that every houndsman shouldn't donate in some way to try to battle it, because it's an ongoing battle. I mean, they're after the rodeo people. They're after the hound hunters. They're after everybody they can go after, and they're like a slow grind. They don't jump in there and try to just end something. Just boom, we're going to end this like this. it's baby steps.
Started with the cockfighters first.
Trappers and everything else. They go after these, and once they have agendas, obviously, and they have goals, and they just are a slow grind until they just squeeze them out. And once they squeeze them out, they go to the next. And it makes it easier for them to abolish some of these things when they've abolished others, because they have all this proof that this is why we done this. This is why they voted to do this. And they're crooked. They're crooked. They are evil, and they're crooked. And they're going to do whatever it takes on the evil side, the crooked side, whatever they've got to do. They're going to do it. And so they're just as illegal. They're thinking they're wanting to outlaw it because they think it's wrong. And like you said earlier about the guns and stuff, and I agree with you. I think that's the main goal. They're not going to just overnight.
That's the end goal.
Yeah, it's the guns.
Yeah. The end goal. The deer hunters, the turkey hunters say, "Oh, it's just them dog hunters. We'll let them get that." Well, then what you going to do when they take that? Because their next step is when they say, because our excuse to having the guns are, well, we use that to hunt with. Well, when they outlaw all hunting whatsoever, then we ain't got no excuse. Yeah. So then they're going to come take them, or they're going to try to.
Each group of people for each sport, they really only care about themselves.
Sure.
And their sport. And so the people that's listening to this right now that may be hardcore, you like to bow hunt.
Sure.
You like to deer hunt. But there's some guys out there that are just hardcore deer hunters, hardcore turkey hunters. They don't give a crap about a hound. They don't give anything about any man that may not even care about mountain lion, bear hunting, running coons, whatever. For them to support us, or to get them to support us, would be just about impossible, because they don't give a crap. They don't care. But what they're doing is us, and even like us, supporting them, is everybody's battling against each other. That's exactly what these animal rights organizations, they want. And if we're all into it and we're all against each other, they're in a win-win situation. That's all there is to it.
Just like when we done the turkey podcast, we as hunters, not dog hunters, not deer hunters, not turkey hunters, we as hunters have to work together to defeat them. Because if they get this passed in Colorado, I guarantee you, they're not going to stop just because they got dog hunting. They're going to go after whatever's next, whether it be elk or whatever it is. They're going to go after it and get it stopped.
Yeah, that's a fact. They are. They've done it, and they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and that leads us into associations and what they doing, or the lack of what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, my
Are we talking about individual ones, or are we going to talk about all of them? We throwing them all in one bowl?
I'm going to talk mainly about the blue tick one, because that's kind of the one I know about. But I think they're all generally, besides the walker dogs, about the same, I think. Now, I may be wrong, because like I said, I'm not a member of the English. That's why you're here. Or not, you know something about it. And I think you do too, Jason. But, we just, Jason asked the question the other day on Facebook about the associations and what are they doing. And my view of the association, I ain't been a member in 3 years. I quit because I come to the conclusion, I thought, I don't understand what I'm paying for. I'm not seeing no benefit here. So I quit being a member.
What's it cost to be a member with do you remember? It
was $30 or $35.
Okay, I was just curious.
Which ain't bad, and you get the blue book and whatever. But I'm gonna speak for myself. The blue book's great, but there's a lot of dogs that's won in PKC and they're not in there. So there should be. They should be promoting blue ticks.
It's a blue tick book. It ain't a UKC book. Yeah. It's a blue tick book.
Yeah, BBCHA put that out, and I've never been let me back up. I have been a member of BBOA, but they're up north, and they are the charter to UKC, and I don't know a lot about them, but they're the same. I just feel like a lot of their priorities are wrong. They want to promote the breed, and I don't see how they're promoting it. Going to a hunt, autumn oaks, and putting a tent up or a canopy or whatever you want to say, and selling shirts or hats. How is that promoting the breed? Yeah, you're promoting it to other blue tick guys, but you're not promoting new members. If you sat down and took 100 kids, if you went out, I don't care, from coast to coast, top to bottom, and got 100 kids that said, I think I would like to try competition coon hunting and coon hunting, what breed would they pick?
Walker dog.
Almost every single one of them would.
Yeah.
They're not going to pick a red bone. They're not in English.
They won't if they talk to me first.
But if they were serious and going to do it, you know good and well, the vast majority of them are going to go with a walker dog.
Yeah.
Why? Because they win.
Yeah.
people like winners. I don't care what continent on earth you are, what religion you are. People want winners.
Well, just look at professional sports. They kill contracts, trade people all the time because they want winners. That's what they want.
Winners attract people.
Yeah, and that's what I want. I mean, we've had this conversation. I would love to see another breed win a world hunt. Me and Brett, and I guess I should have brought this, but I went through the PKC world from 1980 or 81, and what I tell you, there was 5 from 81 to today. There's been 5 off-color dogs win the PKC world hunt. 5.
Off-colored?
Off-colored.
Non-walker.
There we go.
And how many was it on the UKC? Do you remember? 8?
There was 8.
Yeah.
And most of them were English, I bet.
Since 78.
Yeah, well, and you are right. The one in PKC, 3 of them was English. 1 or 2 was a black and tan, I think.
I don't remember.
I don't remember now, but
this is, and once again, I'm speaking for the blue tick, but BBCHA here 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I don't know. They had a big uproar. I'm not even sure what it was about, but they had an uproar about some bylaws, and Jim Combs done, I don't even know, done this, and he didn't do that, and some, Kent Herman done something, and he didn't do, I don't know what at all. As a matter of fact, I don't know how to do it, but I was going to get on Facebook and put Mark Safer being a member of association, like how they do it at Hurricane, but I figured that may hurt some feelings, so plus I couldn't do it anyway. But this is once again, this is my opinion. Only my opinion. Not
the opinion of the Coonhound Collective.
Yes.
Aaron Gamble's opinion.
Yes. They're complaining over bylaws and, what's his face done this and that one didn't do that and on and on and on. And I'm sitting here as a blue tick man thinking, I'm more worried about why on the front of the cover of the blood lines a blue tick didn't win the World Hunt. Why when I opened the magazine up that a blue tick didn't win Autumn Oaks, the Winter Classic. When I open Pro Hound up, why am I not seeing a blue tick on the front of Pro Hound for winning a truck, $50,000, $100,000, their World Hunt, Nationals? Why, when we look at Pro Sport on Facebook, I don't know if they have a magazine or not, why is a blue tick not winning? What does it matter? I mean, if the associations, I'm going to say red bone, black and tans, English, if they all went broke today, do you think anybody's going to quit coon hunting? Because if overnight they no longer existed, nothing's going to change.
No.
Brett, I'll ask you. You've been to a few big hunts. Have you any motels? Any gas paid? Any vet bills? Did they give you any money for winning? When you won something, has the English breed ever helped you?
Mm-mm.
You've never got nothing.
Mm-mm.
Neither has anybody else ever got anything. And I know the blue tick breed has got some money in an account for something, and I think the black and tans do too, right, Jason?
Yeah.
And that's good. But what if we win the PKC World? They going to give it to us?
That I don't know. That's a good question. I would love to hear feedback and I have got some feedback on the post I made from the English Association, because I posted it straight to the English Association's Facebook page. And in their bylaws, it talks about they were created and affiliated with United Kennel Club. In the bottom part of the bylaws, though, it was to better the English breed. And I don't know what that affiliation has got anything to do with bettering the breed.
Well, it ain't.
And it's a bylaw. We can vote. We can get enough members.
That's obviously who they chose in the beginning to go with.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we would have to go back and try to find out who some of the
I'm not saying don't go with UKC.
Main members were.
I'm fine with them supporting
let's promote
UKC.
If an English kicks hind in pro sport,
let's
this. We're sitting here. Of course, nobody can see it, but we're sitting here with the BBCHA Blue Book. There's no reason why, since I won second at the truck hunt, maybe the only blue tick that's ever done it, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, to be in there. What about Crowder? The Honest Crowder dog won, I think, second at Super Stakes. He's not in here. There was another blue dog I think done.
Country Club
has won some stuff.
Stakes.
He's not been in the blue book because of it.
Yeah.
There was another blue dog I think done pretty good to PKC World here a year or two ago. I mean, there's nothing in there about it. But we're promoting the breed. And I don't care how many lawn chairs. I don't care how many friggin' tents you put up. I don't care how many shirts you print. If you want people to hunt your breed, you got to win.
Oh, 100%.
I don't care. Nostalgia is only going to carry your breed so far. It's winning. Period.
How many English dogs was up there last year?
What you're talking. Somebody's gonna have to make a change. Somebody's gonna have to step up. You've worked your butt off to do what you've done. Everybody else has got to work their butt off to try to do better too. It's either that or you roll over and fold and you buy a walker dog, or you get. I'm not knocking on you here.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm not folding.
Well, I'm not poking the bear down at the other end of the table too much, but my point is, if everybody else of the other breeds like, all right, well, this ain't working out for me, I'm going to get me a walker dog. Well, then the breeds are going to those other breeds are going to disappear.
Well, and here's the other thing. We were talking earlier about how dogs work.
Then you wouldn't need the associations.
Exactly. We were talking earlier about how dogs used to hunt, how people used to train. We're talking about all that. These associations was created back in those times. Mm-hmm. We don't live in those times anymore.
No.
We need to be. I think there were 3 English dogs when we went to Salem last year or year before. Wasn't there only 3 in the Simi? Do you remember?
It was me and Loner, and it was Bartlett and Bookie, wasn't it? And then there was
Was the spec dog in it?
I don't know if he's there that year or not.
Well, anyway, there was. I think there was only 3.
I was thinking there was a female.
But oh yeah, there was a female. Maybe there's 4.
I can't remember.
But I don't remember the association reaching. I know they didn't reach out to Brett because he would have told me. We rode together up there. So
no,
they should at least reach out. We're supposed to be supporting the breed.
Well, it was a PKC event. It wasn't a UKC event.
It don't matter. We're supporting.
I know, but I'm
the
just
breed.
saying.
Yeah, I know, but you've worked hard to just like Aaron has. You worked hard and you've registered puppies with UKC. You went to English days and hunted and won for UKC. Y'all worked hard to do this. Why are we not supporting across the board? It's still an English dog. It don't matter what registry it is.
What registry? If he's kicking hind end, he's kicking hind end. Now, I want to say this before we get too far. Jim Combs did come to the blue tick breed hunt at where it was at in Oklahoma this year, and he brought, I believe it was a $500 check, and we'll give it to the winner. I'm going to have to give him a thumbs up or whatever you want to say, because I was pretty impressed that they were there with that money.
Yeah. But it just like we were talking, I think earlier before we hit record, and we were talking about the red bones. Those guys, and it's the guys with the PKC. I think it's Derek Call, T Mac, Alan Holiday, all those guys. They are doing raffles. They're raising money to try to help the PKC side of it, to help. And I won't tell you, they keep raising money. Instead of a walker dog on my side of the box, I'll have a red one.
Well, if they keep, if you're right about that Ford Raptor, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, why not?
But it's funny too. The association guys, they go to a red bone hunt or a blue tick hunt or a black and tan hunt or whatever, a plot hunt. The plot guys are just as bad. They go win this hunt. There's nothing there but some plots or just red bones. And a lot of times there's walker dogs there, and sometimes they're not even high scoring dog, but they get king of hunt and they've hung the moon. And I'm not saying a person shouldn't be proud. If I went and won blue tick days, I'd be proud. No, I'm not saying I wouldn't be, but it's funny, like a red bone could go win a new truck in pro sport, and they don't even give a crap about winning a brand new $50,000 truck, but they went and won red bone days and may not even been the high scoring dog, and yet they've hung the moon. This dog over here, because it's UKC, it's the charter. He gets his face put in the magazine, and everybody thinks, my God, he's got the greatest red bone that's ever walked. When this one over here has won a truck or done whatever, or a plot, I don't care what it is. And them dogs don't even get recognized because the charter's just going to do UKC.
Yeah, and somebody in the post said, well, maybe it's time to start a different associate. To me, there's too many. We got the United English Association, Western and Southern. There's 2 red bone, two or maybe even 3 now, blue tick association. Yeah,
because I've heard a third one now's popped up.
Yeah, so and those are just the ones that I think Black and Tan still only has 1. I don't have no idea about walker dogs, and I think Plots only have 1, and the leopards, I have no idea.
I don't know the mottos of the other breeds. I don't even actually know the blue tick ones. But it's something about family, friend, God or something. I can't even tell you. The Walker Dog one, where the search for superiority never ceases. I know that one. When you go to a hunt and you see the Walker Dog Association and it has that motto, where the search for superiority never ceases, they're telling you what they want.
Yeah.
And ours is family. It's funny. The other associations, their mindset is totally different. Totally different.
Well, and
maybe they're stuck in the ways of the old trailing dog.
Maybe that's what it is, and I think that's a lot of it. I mean, we just went down to a blue tick hunt here a while back, the three of us, and you can see, Jason, you want to.
What are you laughing about?
Him down there.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't going to mention the hunt.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you can totally see the mindset is totally different than if you was to go to Walker Day or to a big Walker Dog hunt. I actually told somebody today I'm actually probably a Walker Dog guy that just hunts blue ticks, because my train of thought. Of course, I was raised with Walker Dog guys.
Yeah,
there was very few blue ticks, so I've hunted the majority of my life with Walker Dog guys. So I kind of see everything more through their eyes. But like I said, it's crazy that a blue tick guy that ain't owned a walker in 27 or 28 years can tell you the motto of the Treeing Walker Association, but I can't tell you the Blue Tick Association.
Yeah, but you got a photographic memory. You're different than most people.
Well, maybe so, but I should still be able to at least remember the Blue Tick one.
Oh, yeah, you don't remember it?
I don't even know what it is. It's family friendship or I'll say this, it means so little to me I even took time to remember it. But I remember the Walker Dog ones.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is with all associations, I mean, I understand that's what their bylaw said, and whenever the association was created, that's when probably with the English, that's probably when that was put there. That can be voted on and changed. Now, I was told by somebody that UKC would be the only one they support. Well, that's crap, because I'm a paying member of that association. And if Brett's a paying member, Chops is a paying member, Colton, all those guys are paying members. If we all get together and we get together with some of these other guys and we campaign, for lack of better words, we can get that changed.
Absolutely.
They told me that could be voted on and changed. So, I mean, my thing is, maybe it is the old cold trailing dog thing. Maybe it's time for these associations to look up and see, we're not out there hunting for highs no more. We're out here, if you're going to make money doing this sport, or win any money, I don't know about making money, but win any money, you're gonna have to get out there and push, and you're gonna have to support something other than just one registry.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for listening to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you don't mind, head over to Facebook and give us a like, and head over to Instagram and give us a follow. It's both at the Coonhound Collective. Also, if you would like to reach us here at the Coonhound Collective, you can reach us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. If there's someone that you would like to hear on the podcast, or a product that you would like to hear talked about, please send it to thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Thanks again. Have a great day.